Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. So, Neo Tarot just dropped a new reading on Foodie, Beauty, and Salah, specifically Salah, and it was so incredibly interesting. It went into a bunch of different directions I couldn't have thought possible, and I wanted to react to Neo Tarot's reading. Neo Tarot, she's one of my most favorite tarot readers on YouTube. Like, I always look forward to her readings on Foodie and Salah and now Natter. Natter has entered the picture. Although, to be fair, he's been in the background for the longest. He's just now more in the front of the picture than he was before. And what's going on between him and Salah is just, it's unusual and it's interesting. And Neo has some very interesting thoughts on both of them. So I hope everybody watching that you enjoy this react to Neo Tarot's reading on Natter and Salah, because they're the two of them are just going to keep switching in and out with this reading. So I want to thank Neo Tarot for doing her reading. And for those of you that haven't heard about Neo Tarot yet, look down below this video in the description. I'll leave a link for Neo Tarot's original video in the description for those of you that want to check her out. Check out all of her readings because she does readings on a variety of different people. Celebrities, actors, actresses, singers, even places. Yes, even places. So how about we get into it, y'all? And by the way, Neo, hi girl, how you doing? It's been a minute, but love you and sending you love and light. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so, all right, guys, here we go.
Hey, y'all. Hey, let's get into this intuitive reading, this intuitive message for Salah. This reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Sometimes the tea is hot and sometimes it's not. You have to watch the video to the end to determine for yourself. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're always here, welcome back, friend. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. So, as you guys know, if y'all ask, I read, and someone sent me a message and was like, hey, can we get this reading for Salah? Okay. I feel like it's been a little while, so we'll get into it. Also, hey, Rose.
Hey, girl.
I feel like I forget sometimes to say hey, but I am truly grateful for you and your reactions, and I just wanted to say that.
Girl, it's my pleasure. It is absolutely my pleasure to react to you and your tarot readings because sometimes I need a bit of a break from reacting to Foodie. And so when I react to your tarot readings, it's not about monetization. It's just about doing your reacts to your tarot readings. It just gives my mind a bit of a reset. So my pleasure.
I feel like she's a cool person. So just want to shout her out. Okay, so Spirit is acknowledging when it comes to, let me tell y'all, like sometimes the way Spirit and I move together, the dance that we dance, baby, I'm taking a long pause because I was getting ready to say Natter. And you guys told me in the last reading, you're talking about Natter, that Egyptian guy is Natter. So I don't know why Natter's name was trying to come out of my mouth, but I'm trying to ask about the current energy and the state, Spirit says, of well-being when it comes to Salah. And so I feel like this energy of Natter is coming up because this is an energy that's on his mind as well. But there's this energy of feeling very scattered, chicken with your head cut off, okay, which makes me feel like brouhaha. It makes me feel like a recipe. It makes me feel like what someone would do to kind of push someone to do something that they would want because that's what they want. And we know that's not what you get. You might get it, but it's gonna kick your ass.
Mhm.
But yeah, very busy, overwhelmed, frenzied, deadline, stressed, chaotic, refocus and redo for best results. Because he's in this energy, he's also in this energy of God doesn't like ugly, affecting the throat chakra, the heart chakra, needing to get grounded. There's nastiness, clash, strife,
Hey.
resentment, thank you, spirit, grudge, argument, spite, and revenge. Revenge? I feel like that came up before in the last Foodie reading. Revenge.
Can I just interject something right here, Neo? Something that should be known about Chantal, because she is paramount in all of this, the goings on between Nader and Salah. Chantal has a very nasty, evil history of doing the triangulation thing with men in her life. Meaning, she likes to pit men against each other with her in the middle. She's one of those, girl. She's one of those. In order to feel wanted, in order to feel worthy, in order to feel admired or loved, she likes for men to fight over her. She's done it many times in the past. Little back history on Foodie. Let's see. When she was with her ex-boyfriend, BB, sorry, I was going to say Dee, and it's not. I'm doing what you're doing, Neo. I can't get the names right. Because there's a woman named Dee with Nader. Like, I'm getting the energies mixed up. It's all a big mess. So, going forward, Chantal had a ex-boyfriend named BB. When Chantal started to see Nader, she tried to use her ex-boyfriend BB that she was no longer living with as a means to make Nader jealous. She even went so far as to go to BB's house. Why? Because she had her stuff over at BB's house and she'd had it there for over a year. But in order to make Nader jealous and angry, there was one occasion she went to BB's house on the premise that she was getting some of her stuff. She really wasn't there to get her stuff. She live streamed herself at BB's house, even though BB did not want her there. And he told her not to live stream at his place. She did it anyway. She did it to get under Nader's skin, to make him angry, to make him jealous, to make him upset, to ruffle his feathers. And it's interesting that the card you pulled up, chicken with its head cut off. I wasn't even looking at that card for a minute when I said that. Like she likes to ruffle the feathers, ruffle them hard. So she went to BB's. She live streamed herself at the ex-boyfriend's house. During her time with Nader, she often brought up BB's name to make him angry, to make him worried. And here we are years later. And I feel, excuse me, I'm sorry. I feel like she's pitting both men against each other to get control of both. Does that make sense? Like she's using both men against each other and putting herself in the middle and wanting them to fight over her and at the same time get control over both men. I keep getting a picture in my head of somebody with two leashes in their hand, like a leash on one person, a leash on the other, and holding them close to them together and tugging on both leashes and saying like, you better behave or I'll go over here, or you better behave or I'll go over there. Yeah, it's like that. So she's been bringing up Nader's name a lot, and Nader's been in her chat. So there's a situation of feathers being ruffled, right? Like she's doing the rivalry, competition-y type thing to get control of both men, I feel. And that's where all this weird energy is coming into play. She wants the men to fight over her. What she's not getting is they're not fighting over her. Neither one of them love her. It's about control over her money, control over the income, who has the most influence, because whoever has the most influence gets the most money. So if she's given money to Natter, which I feel that she is, because I've done my own readings on the situation. I actually did one today privately. I did some cards on the whole Natter situation. And by the way, Chantal, I know you watch these readings. Girl, it's all about the money for him. He's been struggling with Dee Dee, and he is tired of struggling, and he wants her money. But she's not understanding that it's about the money. It's about the control. Both men want to control her, control the money, and get the most money. I did another previous reading, Neo, where I saw that Natter's never been completely out of the picture. He's been kind of in the shadows, like a snake in the grass, just hiding in the dark, waiting for Salah to screw up. And when Salah did screw up, that's when he kind of made his move a little bit, moving closer to the front. And he's been gaining influence over Chantal ever since. But this isn't about my readings. This is about yours. But yeah, this whole rivalry between Salah and Natter, I feel it's over money. It's not about owning a woman's heart and being in her heart. It's about being in her pocketbook and controlling the bank account.
Binge. Okay, so Spirit is also acknowledging that this all has to do with a hotter than blue blazes relationship, some type of passion, sensuality, amorousness, chemistry, longing, and an instant crush. I do see solar plexus energy, the fire to do what you want to do. I do see that sacral sexual energy as well, being a reason and or a result for his energy here. I do see that this is affecting the heart chakra, creating delays. Spirit wants me to say absences or absence of the heart, absence. Okay, so when that...
Okay, I'm going to tell you something else that's striking me right now about the card placement. The chicken with his head cut off card, and the God don't like ugly with the and. Girl. Why is that chicken looking at me like that? I see that the chicken, like, who are you looking at? I feel like the chicken is saying, I'm looking at you. And the ant is sort of crawling away, looking away. So for some reason, the picture of that chicken is coming out at me like that represents Natter for some reason. Like Natter might be paying more close attention to Chantal. And while Natter, I'm sorry, Salah, which is represented by the ant, is looking away. He's not paying attention to Chantal, but Natter is. And as far as the passion, the sacral energy that you speak of, that is something that Chantal had with Natter, but definitely not with Salah. That is the edge that Natter has over Salah. Salah never wanted to really be intimate with Chantal. He wanted to keep it like friends, business relationship, let's not touch each other. Natter has actually been intimate with Chantal, and he's using that to his advantage. And I think that's why Salah feels so threatened, intimidated, because he didn't go the distance with Chantal, and he knows it, and somebody else did. And both of these men are, in essence, sugar babies. They are both men who decided they wanted to live off of her and her money, and be comfortable. And they're both kind of in an active sort of fight with who gets her money. Like I keep hearing this phrase, let the best man win, or, like that sort of thing. So I feel like Natter. I'm sorry I'm laughing so much. Is that chicken looking at me? It's freaking me out. But I feel like Natter, for some reason, the picture of the chicken, if you notice, the head is like all the way in the front, like I'm looking at you, like he's right there, while the ant is going off to the side, like I'm not even paying attention. The ant isn't so much into the front of things, but the rooster is.
Heart. What is it? What is it saying? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Okay, I also see purple here, acknowledging, and it's on the bottom. The higher intuitive chakra, the third eye chakra, should be above, which lets me know that he's not thinking clearly. He's not listening to his higher intuitive chakra and or energy and or thoughts, his higher intuitive self in regards to this situation. Because it feels like balls to wall, Spirit is acknowledging. Balls to wall. You real, man. Spirit is also acknowledging that he needs to be quiet in his energy. Just don't say nothing. Okay, have silence, discretion, contemplation, equanimity, consideration, and privacy. And what I'm hearing, Spirit is also acknowledging he ain't listening. He's going to do what he wants to do, how he wants to do it. There is and I've said this before, but the Spirit is just screaming like there's a cognizant delay when it comes to him. He doesn't necessarily make the right choices because this is that part of the mind, allegedly, that doesn't really understand and or interpret what's happening, and how to respond appropriately. There's this energy of just fuck it. Like fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. Kind of energy. And it's like the idea of him being able to really gather his thoughts and come up with a proper solution and or an understanding of what really is happening. There's something there. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's called clearly, but it's something there that the mind just doesn't register things, not just properly, but in the moment. Like he might have an aha, a light bulb moment around this situation like months from now. I don't know why. Spirit is acknowledging. Okay, so Salah, current energy. Okay. Okay, and spiritually, he's behaving very diplomatic. Mentally, this is around a relationship. And physically, he just wants to get a fair deal. And he's operating in his 7th house. You see, he's trying to shake hands. Okay.
You know what's really strange about that card, Neo? I recall another reading you did way before. Maybe you remember it, where you did a reading on Chantal. And didn't you pull a card basically saying the same thing about her, that whatever was going on, she just wanted a fair deal? So when it comes to Salah, what fair deal is he looking for exactly? Like I that's the part that's got the question mark in my mind. Like, what does he mean by fair deal? Like, what would be a fair deal for Salah? Like I don't know what's going on with the two of them. I don't know what they talked about. I don't know what the agreement is, but maybe the fair deal has to do with the agreements. But it's interesting that you did a previous reading on Chantal where you pulled a similar card, I remember, of her wanting a fair deal. And now he's wanting the same thing.
Okay. And as we know, the 7th house is really about like the +1.
Oh.
And important relationships. +1. That's interesting because that whole time I kept reading on Foodie, there was this energy of a +1 on both ends. But Spirit is asking me to go back. Salah, how does he currently feel about?
So I'm wondering, is maybe part of the agreement was each of them could have a +1? If they have a business relationship that is all about them coming online and acting like a married couple when they're not. Maybe part of the agreement was, since this is a business deal, I can have a +1 and you can have a +1. But maybe Salah is worried that her +1 isn't a regular relationship per se. It's a sugar baby from her past, one that has more influence than he's got. Someone that maybe threatens his control over Chantal and his power, and in essence, threatens the money that maybe she might be giving him. And that's where he's having trouble with her +1. Although, when you are a sugar baby, and if you have a sugar daddy or a sugar mama, and you're depending on that sugar to pay your bills and pay your rent and pay your way, you really can't tell your sugar daddy or your sugar mama what to do, because you are depending on their sugar. And if they want to spread the sugar to other people, honestly, you should just shut your mouth and let it happen, because if you try to tell them what to do, you don't get any more sugar. But maybe Salah is just not looking at it that way. He's looking at Nader as competition, which he is, because he actually had relations with Chantal, and he's like, this +1 that she's bringing into things, she's bringing back around again. It's threatening everything that maybe I might be trying to do over here.
Nader. I'm sorry, y'all. I really don't know the name sometimes. He's acknowledging when it comes to Nader. Bless your heart. It's filled with passion. It's a little uppercut, though. Like, you want friendship, appreciation, devotion, worthiness, caring, playful, teasing, but you're like, bless your heart. Could you really be that stupid that you would want this? For real? Like, are you dumb? Are you slow? Spirit is also acknowledging, he's saying that he should have walked away from this relationship a long time ago in the area of passion, also in the area of business. No, thank you. Walk away, refusal, know your worth. Focusing on self-respect and strength. He's also acknowledging that he needs a spiritual bath. Okay, and so this has something to do with that brouhaha. I do see candles acknowledging that he's into it. There's a lot of energy being what his name is being weighed upon. It feels like weight on the shoulders. And so in order to release that, it's like you need a spiritual bath. You need to go and focus on you. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. You also make me feel like layer energy, like you're being attacked spiritually, bro. Self-love, relaxation, regeneration, satiety within. And it's getting ready to, he's getting ready to have a storm. That's Salah's energy to Nader. And this will put him in alignment. Thank you, Spirit. I do see green, that it's affecting the heart chakra, but it's about to blow up a storm, bringing unwelcome changes, a shift, divorce, poverty, change. Something is coming, okay? And it doesn't surprise me, because something is being thrown at him energetically. Change, strong momentum, sudden change, necessary shake-up, transformation, and hope. I wouldn't go anywhere. I would stay home.
It sounds like there's a whole lot of mind games and emotion games being played, Neo. I don't know about the brouhaha. I don't know if Chantal's doing anything, although I would think, as far as her current energy, because she doesn't have a lot, if she's doing anything ritual-wise, she doesn't have much energy to spare. I would think she'd have to go to other people to get things done, if she did get anything done. And even then, it may not be effective. But I do think on the non-spiritual level that some mind games are being played. Some definite mind games and emotion games are being played. Again, here comes that triangulation stuff again. Her bringing up somebody from her past to mess with his mind and implore a sense of urgency of, you better hold on to me. You better make me happy, because if you don't, I'm going to go back to this one guy that I was once with, and he was actually intimate with me. So you better just come to heal. You better come to heal right now. That's what I'm feeling. Her just playing games with people and try to make people jealous and make them worried and stressed out. And Chantal, she spins her web very, very well around these men. She finds men who are scammers, who are liars and manipulators and con artists like her. She lures them into her web. She seduces them with the money, and she wraps them in that golden thread. They get used to the money. They get used to the comforts that the money provides. They get really used to it. And then once they got really, really used to it, then she feels like she's got full control, and then the mind games begin. You know, she gets them used to that comfy lifestyle to the point where they don't want to work anymore. They don't stop and think about what they should be doing. And they want to hold on to that cushy, comfy lifestyle. And once she feels like they have gotten used to it, then she feels like, I got them. You know, they'll do anything to hold on to me and hold on to this lifestyle. So, yeah, that's her pattern.
That's what Spirit said. I would say home. Okay. Let's get back to Salah, because I feel like my reading is trying to shift to Natter. Okay, so Salah, current energy. Thank you. So he's getting money out of this deal, out of this experience. It's worth his time because he's making a profit.
Right.
Thank you, Spirit. Natter. Oh, see? You see?
Yeah.
Why?
I know it can get confusing, Neo. I get confused sometimes. You know, like they're Salah and Natter are both similar in a lot of ways. Their relation to Chantal, them both being sugar babies to Chantal, it does get confusing. There's some similar yet different energy there. So I understand the confusion completely.
Why? Like, give me a minute, y'all. Why?
I mean, they're both completely tied up with her, so it makes sense.
Why is he so heavy on Salah's brain?
I think perhaps he's worried. He's worried about his sugar baby position, and whatever is going on in the background with Salah, he's literally banking on Chantal funding his lifestyle, whatever that may be, paying for everything, whatever that is. And if she decides to go back home to Canada, it's going to shake the house. It's going to bring the house down boots. And he knows it. And I think maybe that's where his worry is coming from.
Why? That my reading is like, it's shifting. I mean, it's so focused. Salah, why is he thinking so heavily about Natter? Because he's resisting change. Is Natter older than him?
Yes.
Is out of touch. He's resisting change with the okay boomer. There's also this energy of goals. He's wanting what he has. He wants what Natter has.
Ooh.
He's trying to obtain this.
What? I'm so confused about that. What does Natter have, though? What does he have? Is it because Natter lives in Canada and he wants to go to Canada and he's been trying to go to Canada through Chantal and it's not happened yet? I'm not sure why he would be jealous of Natter or envious of Natter. I don't understand where the jealousy or the envy might be coming from. Is it where he lives or the influence that he has over Chantal? I'm not sure.
There goes the light bulb I was speaking about earlier. Subtly expressing jealousy. Okay. Spirit says something else is in the middle of the day because what's this though? Blessed. I see green making me feel like the heart chakra. I do see hands. When I see hands coupled like this, it makes me feel like a baby. I do see a flower there acknowledging love, but something good has happened. And he's expressing gratitude for the blessings. Salah is. He's feeling very lucky and that luck is on his side. Ooh. All right. How does Salah currently feel about Natter? All right. He's saying that Natter is reaping the rewards. Abundance is flowing for him. He's also acknowledging that Natter, it's like he's holding this world card. What's all this water? Water sign energy in the area of emotion, and or daydreaming, and or like some kind of dream. Pisces is coming up strong. Just in your head is in the clouds. But there's this energy of reflections are true. Trust what you see.
Now, I am remembering that Natter talked about going to Egypt. I don't know if he's really going, but I'm just going to say it. Neo, I feel from the very beginning that Salah was just a rebound for Chantal. Salah was just a rebound type of thing. Natter is and was the one that she wanted to really be with. Salah was the one that she settled for because she couldn't have Natter. Natter chose to be with another woman, live with another woman. And she tried for a whole year to be with him. She tried everything. She didn't get her way. And she moved thousands of miles away from Natter, but she never forgot Natter. She still had Natter on the brain. You feel me? So I think Salah realizes that Chantal has always had a thing for Natter. Like the heart wants what it wants. Even if what it wants makes no sense, is bad for you, it still wants what it wants. And it's not going to stop until it gets what it wants. So I think that's why perhaps Salah feels so threatened. Like if he's built a whole house, in a sense, on Chantal's being there and her money and just keep her working and then everything will be fine. And here's this guy from her past that is coming forward and is involving himself in her present. That threatens everything he's trying to build.
Cannot break the ice, chilly reception, and things are going to be very bleak. And this coin, I wish I could read that. It's not in English. But there's something about this coin in the message on this coin. I don't know what this says, but it wants me to really dive in deep. And I don't know. I can't read. I don't know what that language is. I'm sorry. But he cannot break the ice when it comes to Natter. There's chilly reception and it's very bleak. Okay. Wow. Oh. Starved for attention, empty promises, and voided with no when it comes to Natter. And also no, misled by false signals, steer clear. Wow. And I feel like it's obviously in conjunction with Foodie. This deck wants to keep talking clearly. Next question that the subby wants to know is Salah going to Thailand to be with Foodie? Thank you. No. Resistant to change, upsetting news, something about an accident. Interesting. Spirit said, pick it back up. No, danger lurks, best to retreat. And that's interesting. I see a lot of water here. It almost looks like a flood or a...
Ooh. Okay. Neo, you're probably wondering why I'm giggling. I know that you don't watch Chantal on the regular. So something you should know that might explain the flood situation. So Chantal is staying in a hotel or a motel in Thailand right now. And Chantal has been turning down the AC in her room to ridiculous levels, which has caused a leakage in the AC unit, which has caused a lot of problems with leakage for other rooms in the hotel. So maybe that's what it's in reference to. Uh, the fact that she's causing problems at the place where she's staying because she needs her room to be so incredibly cold, staying there due to her size, and she needs to stay very cold so she won't overheat.
Rush of water. But earlier in the reading, I said Natter, the energy spirits wants him to stay home, and it feels like it's the same thing when it comes to Salah. No, again, shady deals, dark road, moonlighting to get by.
And honestly, Neo, even if he did go to Thailand, what good would that do? He and Chantal, they make each other miserable. He stayed back in Kuwait for a reason. She went to Thailand alone for a reason. They already did the thing of being in Thailand for a month together on their last trip, and they were not happy together. So them being apart is kind of like a vacation away from each other. You know, he can be in Kuwait, do what he wants to do. She's in Thailand. And even though she's lonely, she can do what she wants to do. They are not on each other's last nerve. If he were there right now, it would just be a disaster. She would be on his last half of a nerve, asking him to go get food with her for her at all hours. She would get irritated with him, telling her not to smoke certain things and eat a bunch of junk food. Like, it would just be a mess. It would lead to a lot of fighting. But since he is not there, I feel that she's talking more to Natter. You know, when the camera's turned off, she's talking more to him. And I feel that Chantal might be taking this time to reevaluate her time in Kuwait and think about going home perhaps to Canada.
Wow. Moon lighting. Moon. What you do in the dark comes to the light. Whatever you're trying to suppress is coming to the surface. Water sign energy, emotional and or not. This could be in regards to a manifestation and or a pregnancy. Okay. I feel like this reading is interesting. Layered is not the word. It's deeper than that. Okay. So Salah, current energy. When is he going to completely walk away from Foodie? Because I feel like, oh.
And there it is. There is no more time in next new moon.
Wow. There is no more time. The next new moon. When is the next new moon? Spirit said something else is in the middle of the deck. October?
That's in a month. And isn't Chantal staying in Thailand for another month? I think she is.
Thank you, Spirit. Salah and Foodie. So crazy. Salah and Foodie. There's always a child every time I read, creating some energy of the past, creating an energy that one is, no longer just, the skull, death. But acknowledging that this is a karmic love, karmic relationship, karmic debt. It's in the past because of this child. And somebody was focused here. Okay, I keep getting this energy of a child. Manifestation and or child. Natter and Foodie. So
I told you. You said it too, though, Neo. You said it. I said it. Other tarot readers have said it. Natter is where the passion is with her. That sacral energy, that passionate energy, just It's who she really wants to be with. It's who she's got the fire for. Always had a fire for Natter. The flame never went out. It just got turned down a little bit, but it's all the way back up. She turned the burner up to high. And now that she's in Thailand, it's like she's got nothing else to do, and he is on her mind. And this is why Natter is making his move now. Like, she's got a whole month or so where Salah is not around to be an influence, and Natter is taking advantage of that. I feel like there's conversations that are being had on the phone, spicy talk, if you will. Very spicy talk. Like, Chantal hasn't had any, shall we say, male attention for over 2 years. And she's hungry. She's thirsty. She's dehydrated, our girl is. And anybody that comes forward and is feeding that womanly part of her, that passionate part of her, is giving her food for her erotic self, oh, she's going to eat it up. And the one person that has shown her the most red hot flame is Natter. And the saying in my mind again, let the best man win. Although neither man is good for her, this is an active fight, and the weapons being pulled out are dirty. So Natter is pulling out all the stops, all the tricks, like feeding Chantal's womanly self, her inner womanly self, the erotic, sensual self. He's feeding that. He is comforting her. He's talking to her. He's being her long distance companion in an effort to gain power over her. And it's working, because the more he feeds her womanly soul, the more food he gives it, the less starved she is for Salah's attention, and the more she's going to look at Salah and go, I don't need you. I can let go of you right now.
I'm not. Check out my last reading. This is basically what it said as well. Romance, focus, and passion. I mean, I'm not going to go too deep into that, because this is not about them as much as it is about Salah. And I feel like that's what he thinks as well. Salah, current energy. Thank you. Listening in reverse, similar to what I said earlier. 53 is significant. 8 is significant. Ashe to the ancestors. Ashe to the universe. Are you feeling that you're not being heard? That perhaps your needs aren't valid? That your song will go unsung? Does he like to sing? Now is the time to bring your message to the world. Speak up. It's time for your voice to resound throughout your sphere of influence. This is a moment to say what you mean and ask for what you want. In the reverse position, listening has another meaning too. It also asks you if you're refusing to listen to someone else, preferring to hear what you want instead of what is being said. This is a time to get out of denial. Reversed, this card always brings freedom. If you heed the advice, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right, Spirit, I feel is being very demanding in this reading. Okay, Salah, current energy. What does he need to hear?
The Spirit being demanding, or just has a lot to say. The Spirit like, girl, we got so much to say today. Come on. Spirit's like, girl, you don't even know. We got so much to tell you.
If he were listening, what would he hear? He would hear the angels. Angels are spiritual beings and messengers, of God or guidance who assist and protect humans.
Okay.
What would they say? Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is a divine gift that unveils the veils of illusion, revealing hidden truths. that shape our journey through the cosmos. You would hear them telling you about these illusions. Spirit is in the middle.
You know what? That clairvoyance card, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at that beautiful woman in the eyes. And like, I feel like that look is that somebody's seeing right through you. You know, like seeing things for how they really are. Like this beautiful woman, she's sipping tea, but it's like somebody's talking to her and she's looking dead at him like, yeah, okay. Whatever you say, I see right through you. You know, like I feel like there's a message perhaps of seeing things for what they really are. You know, like seeing the truth of things.
Middle. You would also hear that a spiritual ego is a mindset that is filled with spiritual beliefs and ideas. It is the notion of oneself as spiritually evolved. They are trying to help you. They are trying to get you to listen. You are not listening. And it's similar to what I said earlier when it said, shh, privacy, discretion, contemplation, but you're not listening. They said, don't do nothing. Don't say nothing. Move on. But that's your business, okay? I can't tell you what to do. I just read the energy. Okay. Salah, current energy. Forgiveness from this broken heart with the Three of Swords, allowing bygones to be bygones. And this has to do with the High Priestess in reverse. You're not listening to your higher intuitive self. You're still in denial. You're still dealing with obstacles and or delays. And this is because of the secrets. So it's like you're going to forgive, but you're going to keep the secrets. And this creates a lot of confusion for you with the Ace of Swords. And this comes up again because this is mental confusion. This is disorganization. It feels like the victim who falls in love with their victimizer. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but that's the energy that's coming through, creating a lot of confusion, creating a lot of disarray, disorganization and thoughts, but thoughts that lead to action. Does that make sense? Interesting. How does Salah feel about matter? Because that energy, that man is on the top of his head. Do you understand?
Yeah.
With the Queen of Swords, he's acknowledging that he wants to be more direct when it comes to him. With around the Queen, this air sign energy, matter. He wants to think more thoroughly, have more organized thoughts when it comes to him. But he feels very reckless around Natter. He feels like he has to start over because of Natter. This isn't his doing. This is a very reckless energy like, oh, now look, I got the short end of the stick. I'm not starting over and I'm excited about it, or I'm prompting this change. I'm doing this in response to you. Creating delays with the World card, it's not over. This is not complete in regards to how Salah feels about Natter. But with the Ace of Cups, it keeps coming up that there's this emotion that he's going to have, this love, this thing that makes him feel like his cup has runneth over in the area of emotion, and or could be a water sign. Makes me feel like birth, fertility, love. What's going on, Salah? I keep picking up on that. All right. What's next for Salah?
I'm so confused by that card.
And Foodie. Uprooting. Okay, the house is not a home. I think this card came out in my last reading with her, with the Four of Wands, throwing water on the flame in the area of business, also in the area of passion. The house is just upside down, no communication, and there's also transition. He's trying to be strong when it comes to this and have courage. I do see Lion. Are we in the Leo? I think we're out of Leo. Energy, but there's mountains here, trying to tame a lion, trying to get grounded and rooted in his strength because the home is no longer okay. Sending him love and light, and there will be justice, there will be cause and effect, there will be truth, there will be a balancing out this situation. The balances will be weighed. It feels like this could include a judge. This could include a court of law if it hasn't already, but there
Oh,
will be fairness. There will be what feels like judgment and justice. Libra energy, okay? What's next for
yikes. What does that mean? Justice, a judge, legal system? What does this mean? Oh, there could be some dirty games afoot.
Salah?
You know, and I just keep thinking about the previous reading you did where Chantal wanted a fair deal. He's saying he wants a fair deal. I don't know what deal they have between them. I don't know what agreements they agreed upon, although they are both miserable with each other, and this thing could have been cut off a long time ago. Maybe there's some business dealings that are still ongoing, some things that have not been fulfilled. Whatever it is, he's been hanging around for a reason and he's not letting go. I feel it has to do with something legal, something money, contractual agreements, something. And I think if that were not the case, he would let Chantal go. But because maybe there were agreements made and money exchanged or something, he might be looking at it like, we have an agreement, we have a contract. You haven't fulfilled your contract yet. You may want this person, fine, but you haven't fulfilled your contract. So
reckless, starting over even though he doesn't want to. It's this energy of him not feeling grounded in this start over either. It makes him feel very naive and afraid of change, afraid of what this might look like. And this is because of the Knight of Cups. There's some kind of romance, some type of gesture, some type of pursuit of being a Prince Charming for someone in this area of pink, be that passion and or passion for a business. But he feels very reckless even in this as well. It feels like leaving one frying pan to the next. I picked up on this energy of there being another energy, another female energy, and it feels like this energy is having him to start over as well. It feels very reckless, and it like left one bad situation, it feels like, for another. Okay. And then we have the death card. So there could be endings, literal, or this could just be, something having to be over in order for him to start anew, to start fresh, to live again. This will be communicated upon. I do see the sun, solar plexus energy. I do see that this affects the heart chakra. I also see that this affects the root chakra, him needing to get grounded. I do see black, making me feel like the path is protected. It is still windy, as most people's paths are. We learn lessons. Sometimes we don't learn them easily. Sometimes we got to go through some shit, right? Not my business, not my problem. This reading is alleged.
You know, that reckless card, I'm not going to say what it looks like to me. I don't want to make anything manifest, but looking at it a second time, I'm not going to say what those shapes on the card look like. Y'all can pretty much guess that next to the death card. I'm just going to leave it at that.
In for entertainment purposes. Now we sit back and let the universe do what the universe does.
Excellent reading, Neo. Very interesting, very unusual. And I know it's hard to read on Chantal and Natter and Salah because there's so many different layers with all of them. There's so many different layers of deception and lies and schemes and games, and there's so much going on there. It's hard to pull it apart. Oh my goodness, but you did a wonderful job. You did, despite all the many different layers. There's just too many layers in that cake, girl. You can't, it's so big you can't put it in the oven. But you did a wonderful job, Neo. Great reading, very interesting. Loved it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this react to Neo Tarot's reading, and look down below for the link for the original video in the video description. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.